Hello everyone, I'm David Bina, working at the WEkEO user support team. I'm glad to present you today the WEkEO data viewer. So here I am on the WEkEO homepage. And if we click here in the header on the data, it will open the data viewer. When you reach for the first time the viewer, there are two layers displayed by default. One product from Copernicus Land provider, and one, the Seawater Velocity from Copernicus Marine. When you are on the tool, you can zoom in and zoom out by scrolling with your mouse. You can grab the map to move left and right. Okay, so let's say for the sake of this presentation, I am interested in the Europe area. I can zoom in a little bit more on the area, on the Europe area. Okay, here at the bottom, you have the timeline to choose to pick another date. And at the bottom right, you have also the depth level to change the depth level. So for example, for the sea velocity, water velocity, if I go to more than 2000 meters, we're gonna start to see the bathymetry showing up. Okay, so let me go back to around the surface. For the example of today, I will take another vegetation product because we are here to speak about hydrology. And I guess that there is a correlation between vegetation presence and hydrology. So to open the WEkEO catalog and search for our product of interest, I can click on this button. It will open the WEkEO catalog. On the right, we have all the products provided by WEkEO. So you could scroll at the very bottom, but it is more convenient to use the filters we have on the left to find our products. So today, I want to take the high-resolution vegetation phenology and productivity. So I could, for example, type here HRVPP, and it will filter, and we have 5 products left. And today, I want to take this product. But let me show you all the filters we have. So you have some products that are featured and the favorites. You have different sections like the Copernicus services, so climate, atmosphere, emergency, land, and marine. You have the different Sentinel platforms. You have the sensor. So this section was already collapsed, so you can develop or collapse a section. And you have others like the area, the time, and several tags. So for example, I could find my product of interest by clicking on CLMS Land because I know that it is the provider of the product I have chosen for today. And also on the tags, I click on vegetation. And here I have 8 datasets left. And I find back the product I was talking about, this one, about the vegetation, phenology, and productivity. It is a yearly dataset. I can click on details to have the details of the datasets. Sometimes we'll find some use cases at the very top of this description page. You can open it and see what this use case is about. At the top left, you have a little thumbnail showing where we have data. So here it is the Europe area. And we have also the geographical extent. Then we have an abstract explaining what we will find in these datasets. And we have other informations of the dataset, so the dataset ID that we can use, for example, when we download data by script, and other information, the provider, the metadata, etc. So now I can click on Add to Map to add the variable I want to choose. So we see here that there are several variables in this dataset. And we can scroll, and I will take the total productivity season 1, for example. So I click on Add to Map, and it is added on the viewer. You can scroll up to close this window or click elsewhere. It will close the catalog. So now in my layers window, I see that I have the 2 displayed by default and the 1 I have added. When you hover with your mouse the title of the layer, we can see the full name of the product and the variable. Under you have several information like the date, the area, and for example, for the seawater velocity, we have also the depth. Under we have the color map, so the color used to display the data on the map. And then we have several buttons to customize the visualization of the data. I will focus on the seawater velocity to talk about this button because there are these two additional buttons. So from left to right, there is this download button that I will show just after because this is how we download data from the data viewer. Then we have this I button. It will basically open the details page of the product once again, the one we have seen just before. We have this opacity slider to play with the opacity of the layer. So it could be useful if you want to compare, for example, two variables within the same area. Let me zoom in just a bit on the Mercator and see. Then we have this button really useful to change the variable we want to display within the same dataset. So we don't need to open the catalog once again to search for the product, etc. With this button, we already have all the variables contained in this dataset. So for example, I could take another variable like the seawater salinity, and it is automatically updated on the map. But let me go back on the seawater velocity because I want to show you the vectors. You can also convert the color map into log scale by clicking on the log button. And then, because the seawater velocity contains vectors, if you click on this button, you will see the vectors. While I'm zooming in, I try to do it slowly. We can see that the vectors, the resolution is increasing accordingly to my zoom. So it is quite useful. We can see the color, the amplitude of the variable with the color, and the direction with the vectors. Okay, so let me zoom out back to the whole Europe area, and I will. With this eye icon, you can show and hide a layer. So if I click here, for example, I'm hiding the seawater velocity. And if you are not interested at all, you can also click on the cross to remove a layer from this layer window. Okay, now I will talk about these objects on the bottom right. So you have this locate functionality, so you can place some points on the map and it will display the coordinates that you can copy by clicking on this button. Then you have this measure functionality to measure distance between 2 points. You can also copy the coordinates. You can remove this object by clicking on the cross. And above all, you have this set AOI for area of interest functionality to draw a bounding box where we want to subset the data we want to download, for example. So once it is placed on the map, you can also modify this bounding box. And under these three types of objects, you have the settings for the viewer. So if I open it, you can show or hide the base map. You can show and hide the coastline and reference. And you can also change the units, so from kilometers to miles or nautical miles, for example. Now, I will talk about how to download the data from the data viewer. So as I said earlier, it is from this button. Because I wasn't logged in already, it will open this page to log into my WEkEO account. So I log in because it allows me to say that it is totally free first to create a WEkEO account, of course. You don't need to be logged in to visualize the data, but you have to be logged in to download the data. Okay, so now that I'm logged in, I can download the data and specify different parameters to download the data I want. So for example, the first parameter is the bounding box. You can enter manually, manually these coordinates, or click on copy AOI from map. So it will pick the coordinates of the bounding box I have drawn earlier. Same for the time range. You can enter manually the dates. You can open this widget calendar, or you can first pick up a date here on the, maybe I was too fast. Here at the bottom, you can, let's say I want data from 2019 to 2020. So here I am in 2019. I click on copy from layer. So, okay. And now I go in 2020 and I click on copy from layer. So here I can see that I'm about to download data from 2019 to 2020. Then the other parameters are not mandatory because mandatory parameters are indicated with this red asterisk, and here it's not the case. So I can leave it like this and download this data. To download the data, you have two options. You can show the API request here. So don't be scared if you are not used to download data via this by script, let's say. Alexandre, we will show you how to do so in the next presentation later today. But just to show you, you can copy very, very easily the query by clicking on this copy button. And also, you have a documentation, and in our help center, you will find useful articles which will guide you to download the data by script. Okay, but here from the data viewer, we can also click on this button, request data, and then monitor request. It will redirect me into this jobs tab. So I click on it, and here to 20, it's the request I've just made. So it's already completed. I can click on this icon to show the request once again, or I can click on this folder icon to see the different items corresponding to my query. So here it was 1 year of data in a pretty large area. So we can see that it consists in more than 200 results. But just to show you, you can still click on order and then on this download icon, and it will start the download. Okay, but for this case, because I have more than 200 results, I invite you to carefully listen to Alexandre's presentation, or I repeat, go to our help center and to download the script via the HDA API. It will be more convenient. Just to share the information, in this jobs tab, you can see that I already have several jobs. It's because it keeps in this history all the previous jobs, all the previous requests I have done during 7 days. So keep in mind that all the jobs will be removed every 7 days. And now, if you have any question or any feedback, any issue, you can contact us, the WEkEO user support, by clicking on this button. It will open the chatbot. It will open the home tab, and basically you can send us a message or search for help, which are the same as these two tabs here. So you can send us messages from here, and so you can share the issue or the feedback you want to share with us. And you can search for articles in our help center. So here we see the 7 collection existing in our help center. You can browse in this collection, or you can also use the search bar to search. For example, if you have question about the download, if I type download, I will, here are the results we have. And for example, this article, how to download WEkEO data, will basically show you how to download data from the data viewer or via the HDA API. It's one of the examples of the articles we have on our help center. Also, just a quick important note, about the downloading data. For the moment, we are experiencing different kind of issues with level 2 Sentinel data. So some of these products, level 2 Sentinel data, are not available today, but our technical team is already working on a fix. So it was just a quick note. If you are trying to download this kind of data and have issues, of course you can contact us, but I am warning you already that maybe we'll encounter some issues with level 2 Sentinel data. So I think that's it for me. So thank you for your attention, and I will try to answer to your question.
Thank you, David. That was very nice. That was definitely very interesting to see. And yeah, sure, we do have a lot of questions for you already. Let's start with this one. So I will allow Q&A. First one. Is there a way to explore the catalog filtering out layers which are not visible on the map?
So indeed, there are some layers that are not visible on the map, but you can still download the data. So for example, if I take this is the first one, I add to map, it won't be shown on the map.
If you want to share your screen again, you can.
Sorry.
So remember, on the left-hand side,
yes,
you will have the two screens.
On the left, yeah, it's coming.
Perfect.
Do you see it? Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. So I've just. Okay, I will do it again. It was just the first product of the catalog. Indeed, if I click on Add to Map, a message will be displayed saying that it can be shown on the map, but you can still use the download functionality to download the data. So I hope it answers the question.
Okay. Great. Thank you. And wait. Okay. In the viewer, can we define an area of interest and save it to use in the future queries?
I don't really know what it means to use it in the future queries, but I mean, if you leave the viewer and come back, I don't know, the next day or else, I don't think the bounding box will be here. But you can still write.
You would have to export
or copy paste
it
the coordinates somewhere, and then use it in a future request. Okay.
Cool. So another one. This one. It's a lot of it, very difficult to see. This is more like a comment.
Yes, because sorry.
I didn't notice.
I don't know which abbreviation, maybe with HRVPP. Which was
okay.
High Resolution Vegetation Phenology and Productivity. I said it just once because it's quite a long name. Sorry. And then I don't know which abbreviation I
The ADH API.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry, HDA is for Harmonized Data Access. It's so API. Basically, it's just a way to connect to a server. So we use here at WEkEO the HDA, so Harmonized Data Access API, to do our query, so to download the data via script. But I think that Alexandre will show you this in a moment.
Yes, about that, a little update. So today we won't have Alexandre with us, who's often our. No, that's all right. But we will have Ergan.
Okay, yeah, okay, Ergan.
It's true that it's often Alexandre doing the Jupyter notebooks. Today is going to be Ergan.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
No worries. But yes, Ergan will tell you more about that later on. Great. I think we have time for one or two more. But oops. What about this one? Which are the units of the different HRVPP products? Okay, more abbreviations.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't think I can answer now, but you
Mm-hmm.
can. I invite you to use the functionality I'm shown to contact us, and then if we have the answer, we will share with you immediately. If we don't have the answer, we will ask the appropriate producer team
Mm-hmm.
to provide a correct answer.
And there's this one. Is it possible to upload a shapefile or raster data? Define my region of study interest instead
Uh,
of using the box rectangle or the set of area of
yeah, okay. You
interest.
know, so for now, no, it's not possible to specify a bounding box via uploading a shapefile, but it's feedback we already shared with our internal team. We know that it is a functionality that a lot of users are looking to. So
Hmm.
it is an improvement we have already noted, jotted down. But for the moment, no, it's not possible.
Okay. And this one. Is it possible to change the color of the legend or vector in the viewer?
No, I don't think so. No,
Mm,
we can't change the color.
no.
These are colors by default for each
Yeah.
layer. It changes. It changes depending on the layer. Um, so no, I guess the answer is no. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Um, time series. Okay. One last one. um, can I do a time series analysis like daily, weekly, and monthly?
Uh,
I'm not
the
sure if
question
in
is a
this case
bit
it's for
vague.
you. Yes.
I don't know. Yes, I want to answer yes, of course. We can do a
Yeah.
time series analysis with the daily data. I, I don't know if there are weekly data, but you can do a
Mm.
mean of the daily data to get the weekly data. Same for the monthly. There are monthly data, but you can do some calculations to calculate the monthly mean of from a daily data set. But I
Mm-hmm.
want to answer yes, but the question is a bit general, so I can't answer more than that.
Yes. Maybe not necessarily for the viewer, but
Yeah,
maybe Julia will enlighten us a little bit more about that later on.
yes. But once
Great.
again, feel free to ask us in the chatbot, and we will go deeper in your request, your question, and we will be glad to answer.
Yes. Okay, cool. Thanks very much, David. We will put the link to the user support as well,
Yes.
and also with some useful articles maybe.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Thank you very much.